Okay, we're going to start an experiment here. This is an old canvas, and I used it for hot glue, glitter glue, old paint. I sanded it down, and today is going to get some resin and some mica powders. I have pre-mixed some stuff up. I used 8 ounces of resin, the bee resin that I use some pearlescent powder by Baltic Day Pure Soul. Let me see, I used cracked ice, and then from Let's Resin I used the Mica Orchid and White, dark magenta, and then also from Let's Resin I chose the Chameleon Powder Plum and Teal. So I use, let me see, regular Let's Resin was the Orchid dark magenta. Let's see, what was the other colors that I chose? Oh, the silver gray, white, I think I said plum. Oh, and teal. I did teal from the Chameleon Powder. Orchid, cracked ice from the pearlescent powder, dark magenta from Let's Resin. I think I read that one off. I kind of, as you can see, I have it on a piece of paper here, and it's all kind of jumbled together. All right, so I've had this set. I'm not really sure how to go about this. Let me get some gloves on. I was going to pipe some colors on. Like I said, I did 8 ounces of resin. I'm going to try to get this all in one go. I'm going to choose the silver gray as kind of a base. I'm going to stir it up again. See what happens. I'm going to make a terrible mess. I know this already about myself. But at least I know this. Trying a different camera angle. Let me see. I don't know why I set that there. Let's just move it out of the way. Decided not to put myself in the camera. I decided to tape up the sides. And just try to keep as much of the resin on the canvas as long as I could, and then at a certain point I'll go ahead and let it come off. I know this is going to blend. I do have a tile underneath here and some styrofoam to kind of level it out so it won't sink in the center. Some people say that you can put some resin on the back and let it dry, and that will help so that you don't have any sinking in the middle of your canvas, and that helps quite a bit. I've never tried that, so I don't know. I've always just kind of patted it a little bit, and I don't know, so I don't know if that works. I can show you right there. I suppose I could move that to more in the center now that I have adjusted that, but I don't really need to since I've got the camera centered. I saw a really cool painting that I kind of wanted to duplicate, but we shouldn't really do that. Duplicate another artist's work, I guess. But I liked the colors, and I just thought, well, you know, I'm just going to try to put a bunch of colors on the canvas and see what happens. You know, I don't know how they're going to blend together. I don't know what we're going to get for colors. I just like the colors. So I don't have any particular design in mind. I'm just going to go for it and see what happens. I may not have enough resin. I know that the mix came up. It said to do 7 ounces to this size canvas, so I did 8. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna, blend it all together anyway. I'm gonna do a little bit of tipping. So some areas are gonna blend. I do expect that. You're gonna get weird colors. It's gonna happen. So I chose some that I wouldn't mind the colors going together. So we'll see what we get. I always have backup tissues, wipes and paper towels and everything. Got a little bit of white here. A little bit of white here and there throughout the painting. Like I would if I was painting, a normal painting. A little white here and there. Don't use it up all at once. Not really sure where I'm going with it. Like I said, never know what I'm doing. I just decided today, hey, I want to do something. I just don't know what. Isn't it funny that already went from hot pink to a purple? So I wonder what this purple is going to do. It's going to be really weird, I can tell you that. And this color has a lot of blue, orange. It's one of those chameleon violets resin. So I really am looking for this to kind of be like a rainbow-esque of colors. Not necessarily sections of colors, but I want it to be highly reflective when it just turns and catches the light. So when it blends all together, I just want to see what's going to happen to it. So that when it just hits the light and casts in different directions, I just want it to do different things. I don't want it to be like necessarily a statement or be, oh yeah, I see this pattern, a particular pattern. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm just looking for something to be different in any way that you turn it or position it, or, if you put it on your wall, the next day you go, you know what, I want to put it in this position, and it's something completely different. Or if the light catches it a certain way, it looks completely different. I think I mentioned my therapist that I see. She has a painting, and I looked at it one day, and I never had really, the first couple of sessions, I didn't really pay much attention to it. And then I really did. And I saw one thing, and it was kind of gloomy, and I thought, well, that's kind of depressing, actually. What kind of thing is that to be looking at in therapy? It's kind of depressing. And then by the end of the session, I thought to myself, wow, it looks completely different. It was lighthearted. It wasn't anything, it just looked different. It was uplifting. It was upbeat. It was completely different than what I had seen at the beginning of the session. It was just so totally different to me. And I told her that, and she was like, really? And I said, is there a name on the painting, And she said, no. There wasn't. It was just an inexpensive painting that she had gotten at, I don't know, TJ Maxx or something like that, And so it was just bizarre. So, art is completely, especially, abstract. It's, interpretive. It's not meant to be necessarily have a meaning. You know, it's all in what you know, what you want to see or what you think you see, or it all depends on your mood. You know, it doesn't have to be the same thing every time you look at it. It can be just reflective of your mood. It just doesn't matter. It's very strange. Very strange. But I like it anyway. That's why I like abstract, because it just doesn't have to be the same thing. It never has to be the same thing twice. And if anybody's watching this and they're going, "What in the hell are you doing? That looks insane." Yeah, it probably does. But this is, you know, for me. It's not for anybody else. It's not for anybody else to appreciate. This is just for me to do and to vent, and I just felt like doing something different. Like I said, I'm probably going to have to mix up a little more resin, because this is not going to be enough. And whoever the person is that said only is going to take a small amount of resin to do this size is crazy. Absolutely foolish, I tell you. Foolish. Foolish, foolish, foolish. I do have a little bit of this blue-green here. So we'll see where that goes. Very pretty color. Very pretty color. Let's see. What should I do? Not really sure what I'm doing with this, but it is definitely a mess. I'm going to hit it up with the heat gun too. I'm going to move all of this around, so. It's all going to blend. It's all going to go in different places and different areas and different colors. So we're going to wind up with something completely different than what this looks like. Or it's just going to be a blob of grossness, which I'm guessing is going to be a blob of grossness, but it's going to be my grossness. But that's okay too, because then, you know what? I can just do over. I can put something else right over this. It's not a big deal. That's the beauty of this. There's no mistakes. No mistakes at all. I was trying to figure out a way to add music so that I wouldn't get in trouble by the YouTube police. Still trying to figure out the whole editing situation. And it says go to the editing software, but you know, that's a whole nightmare. I will be able to figure that out eventually. I'm just not sure how to do that yet. It's complicated. The whole shebang is just crazy when you're first learning how to do it. It says do this, you go there, and then they want you to do 150 other steps how to do it. And then they go, was that helpful? Was what helpful? Because I went there and then it immediately kicks you out. So, nope, it wasn't really helpful. Wish I could say that it was, but it wasn't. Not at that time, anyway. All right, let me see. Okay, so I've got that. There's really no white left. There's a teeny weeny bit of this blue. Any holes left that I need to fill? like I said, I won't pull the tape away until this is a little bit firmer. So I'm going to try to be able to get this to go to the edges. Come on. Come on. The sound you're hearing is the heater. Because again, you know, spring still has not arrived here. Pain in the ass. Be nice if I had some place in this house that was actually level. But there is not a single place in here that's level. It's driving me insane. No matter how many leveling things I get, there is not anything. All right, let me see here. Look at that, a great big section opened up that had resin, that right there, that does not have resin on it now. Right there. Okay, heat gun time. Let's use some resin. Oh, come on. There we go. Just turning it up. I have got to get myself one of those little ones. Oh, that's really pretty in there. You can see those there. It's so pretty. I'm loving the colors. Come on, go on right there. Don't be a pain in the ass. Oh, I hate it when it does that. Come on. Something as simple as holding a stick down in there to make that go. There you go. I may just go ahead and take that out from underneath. You know, I did this before. I wound up dropping the whole damn thing. That was not fun. Go. Very nice. Come on, fill in, baby, fill in. Wow, that kind of looks like sand art moving across there, doesn't it? Look at that. Oh, don't you just love resin? Look at how beautiful that is. Look at the beauty of that. I mean, come on. How can you not love that? That is just incredible. All right, I don't want to overflow, but darn it, I really want that to go up there. Oh, come on. Come on. Come on, I'm going to work this like I would work my paint. Come on, baby. Come on. Oh, I hope this dries nicely. Let's see. Hope we're staying in frame for you guys. Stupid styrofoam. Styrofoam's gonna go away too. Oh my, what do you think? Holy cow. Okay. All right, so far cry from what that was, huh? All right, guys, I am going to hit pause, and I will check back in and keep you posted. Okay, let's see. Are we recording? I think we are. Yes, okay. Well, I've decided, yeah, okay, of course. I'm going to attempt to take this off. I'm going to stick myself to the tape, of course. Let's see what, of course I did this in 100 different places. So, let's see. This is the cheapest painter's tape that there is. I may have to go over and paint with resin on the sides. Hand paint it, which is not a big deal because there's not a whole lot of excess resin on the top. There wasn't a lot of overflow. Some might flow over, but not much. I may have to hit that with a heat gun right there just to make it so it flows. It is flowing over a little bit on the sides here, but not much there. But I'll continue to tip and roll and do all that fun stuff. You can see where some of the glitter here, so I probably will put a light coat of something over it as it continues. Got a little bit of dimpling, but for the most part, I like it. But when anytime you're trying to cover an old canvas, it's gonna show the imperfections that are underneath it. But I like it. It's 100% better than what it was. I will do a short tomorrow once it dries, and then I'll decide on what to do as far as covering it goes. Just gonna lay it on here for maybe make that go to the edge. Just to cover that part of the canvas that doesn't have any resin. Hate it when it gets to the end like that over here. Same. Just push it just a tiny bit, just to make it a little even. So it happens when you buy, you know, the inexpensive canvases. You know, you just don't really have the cash. You're a little strapped. You buy the cheaper canvases on sale, and you know, they're less than even. And then you wind up, you know, with a little bit of balding there. But hey, it doesn't matter. Who are you trying to impress? Nobody but yourself. So, ultimately, that's who you're trying to please. And I'm very happy with this. So, anyway, this is it. And, again, I'll put it up as a short tomorrow. And, the dried result anyway. And, I'm going to cover this now so we don't get a bunch of little dust things on it. And, yeah, I really love this. I might pause it for a little bit and see if I can get some close-ups of the... let me see if I can do this without dropping you into it. But I don't know. Let's see. Oh, God. I will probably drop you in it. I'm afraid that I'm going to. But, yeah. I don't dare go any closer than that, guys. I have visions of dropping my phone in you, in the resin. So yeah, I'm not gonna do that. So, all right. Anyhow, it was an epic fail, but yeah. So, all right, there we go. And I will, I'll show you this later on. Okay. So that's it for now.